What's going on? We back, Goodfellas Sports TV, dropping some boxing knowledge on your head real quick. One more time for the one time, probably last boxing video for the night. I got one off-topic boxing video coming, man. And shout out to all the haters, man. But we up in here, man. Gonna do the breakdown prediction for my favorite fight of the weekend. Ain't too many fights up, but I think it's my probably favorite fight of November by far. It might be my favorite fight of the fall, other than Wilder and Fury. It's Josh Taylor taking on Ryan Martin. Now, a lot of people might not know Ryan Martin. He trains with Abel Sanchez right now. It won't be your traditional breakdown prediction video. It's just going to be one of those prediction videos, okay? Because I've explained so much. Ryan Martin was once under the SMS promotion banner. Yes, 50 Cent promotional banner. Eventually, him and 50 Cent split, or SMS promotions fell out. But 50 Cent still gets a percentage of everything he does, advertisement, fight purses. So he got a messed up contract with 50 Cent still to this day. So, it is what it is. Always got to watch who you sign with as well, and watch what those promotional contracts be like. But, Jermaine Taylor back in 2012 dubbed him Kid London. He was a high amateur hopeful to go over there to London and win a gold medal. Eventually, Robert Easter Jr. beat him in the Olympic finals or something like that, to go to the Olympics, whatever you want to call it. As a pro, he was very, very active in the beginning. Obviously had promotional issues, and now I think Tom Loeffler promotes him through 360 Promotions or K2 Promotions. I'm not 100% sure, but he's an orthodox fighter. He's from Chattanooga, Tennessee, but fighting out of Akron, Ohio. He's training with Big Bear at the Summit Gym with Abel Sanchez. He's the orthodox fighter, 5'11". He's about an inch taller than Josh Taylor. Orthodox fighter, hand speed, foot speed, slick fighter, aggressive fighter. I know he's aggressive now. He's probably going to lack defense with Abel Sanchez, which we'll talk about that later. And if a lot of people are not familiar with Josh Taylor, a lot of this shit on this YouTube shit is just dumbed down, man. It's just the same redundant boxing talk. Boxers, regardless of race, where you from, if you're a good boxer, I'll try to find you and give you that notoriety. I'm always try to kick knowledge on boxing, man. So, Josh Taylor is a hell of a fighter. He definitely can box. He's a switch hitter. I call him the white Terrence Crawford because he can switch it. He ain't slick like Crawford, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But he's a good fighter, good feet, good power in both hands, can switch hit. My favorite to win the tournament. I think the winner of this fight will win the World Boxing Super Series tournament, in my opinion, the 140-pound tournament. Also, Regis Prograis advanced. Ivan Baracha, I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name. He won a vacant IBF. And Relic advanced. The winner of this will fight Baracha for the IBF title. It'll be either or. Both of these fighters, first world title shot, with technical first world title shot. To get into, the strengths, Ryan Martin is a superior athlete here. Faster hands, better feet. If he used it, knowing with Abel Sanchez, he probably took all his defensive ability away. But he would be the slicker fighter and be the better defender. He could punch with both hands. He could do a lot. He could do a lot of different things with his ability, man. And he could punch. He ain't the biggest puncher. 22 knockouts, 22 wins, 12 knockouts, zero losses. I think 0 draws for Ryan Martin. Had a tough fight with British Prescott. Thought he should have banged him out, but he did knock him out. But not only just that with him, he came from lightweight as well. But he's a physically big as hell. I don't know how he made lightweight. But like I said, he can punch with both hands, fast hands, good amateur pedigree. Josh Taylor, if you haven't seen Josh Taylor fight, it's definitely a treat. One of my favorite prospects, contenders, about to turn champions coming up. Switch hitter, can punch with both hands, can systematically break you down, go to the body, go to the head, solid feet. That's Josh Taylor, man. Just a real fluid fighter. Talk about the weaknesses, man. The weaknesses of Josh Taylor is defense. He just don't have a lot of great defense. He don't have a lot of head movement, a lot of bend at the waist, a bend at the knees. He definitely got the potential. He had a good amateur background as well. He just don't have a lot of bend at the waist and bend at the knees. He ain't slick. He can get a little bit of stiff. He can get hit a lot. That's the knock on him. But he's definitely a calculated boxer. Understands range. Can fight on the inside, fight on the outside. I see him fight the pocket a little bit more. But when you stiff and you don't have no head movement, it's hard to really fight at that pocket range or that mid range. So that could be, you know, an issue for him. But he's experienced though. That's another strength for him. I forgot to mention. More experience than Ryan Martin at this professional level. Both have wonderful amateur pedigrees. For Ryan Martin, he ain't been on this level yet. You know what I'm saying? Might lack a little bit of power. I think Abel Sanchez is trying to make him an aggressive fighter. When you see him punch and how aggressive he punches in the speed, you wonder why he don't have more knockouts. You know, that is a question. The power might be an issue to keep Josh Taylor off of him. But like I said, just experience. It might be a lack of power there. And that's just for him, lack of experience, lack of power. And right now, that's all we know about him because he ain't been on his elite level yet. But, you know, talk about what Ryan Martin needs to do is be Ryan Martin, you know. You need to be slick. You need to be defensive responsible. Don't let Abel Sanchez not take away his defensive prowess, his slick ability, his bend at the waist to make people slip and miss. He does need to be aggressive, especially if you go into Glasgow back in Scotland in Josh Taylor's backyard. You know, this might be one of the times that, you know, Abel Sanchez might help you with his aggressive nature. You need to be aggressive and not be a pretty cute boxer. We've seen plenty of fighters that were outboxing Ricky Burns, and that should have probably went for the knockout, but didn't. And credit to Ricky Burns' jaw. He fought with a broken jaw before, too. Didn't get the knockout and got robbed in the car. So this might be a point where, you know, Abel Sanchez might come into play. It might be important here. Ryan Martin needs to be aggressive. He needs to work the body. You know, definitely work the body. He could dig to the body nice as well, too. Let his hands go. You know, you got to be wary of Josh Taylor power. But the speed is probably going to be a big factor. How much faster is Ryan Martin than Josh Taylor? But think about Josh Taylor is that he seems to got timing, seems to control distance, but he can get hit a lot. And if Josh Taylor if Ryan Martin can punch and increase his punching power and really sit down on some punches and make Josh Taylor miss and hit him, that's going to be critical. And for Josh Taylor, he's more experienced. You know, Ryan Martin, I'm not sure how many times he went 12. Even if he went 12 before, he just went full eight with Prescott. So that's something to look at as well. He's a southpaw that can switch. And that's something that Martin probably ain't really seen. He's probably trained with southpaw and orthodox, but it's hard to make that adjustment in a fight when a guy's switching in between rounds. And, you know, I don't know how many switch hitters he can find to train with. So that's an advantage for Taylor. Like I said, experienced Taylor been, you know, he probably the most battle-tested guy at 12 or 13 fights in his tournament by fighting Postal or Harry Davies and Miguel Vasquez being the first guy to stop him as well, doing what Canelo couldn't do and the plethora of other fighters couldn't do and knock out Miguel Vasquez. So he definitely got experience. He's definitely going to be switch hitting, using the jab, switching up on Martin. You know, like I said, Martin is a guy that's probably lost a lot of defensive techniques he learned in amateur, so he gonna be able to tee off on Martin. I think him naturally being a 140 pounder, naturally being bigger. I think Martin is a big guy. He's been training hard in Big Bear, but I think Josh Taylor's power and experience is definitely going to be a major factor in this fight. That's going to be a huge factor. He's a marksman. He's accurate, but also he gets hit a lot. So if Martin can find some power, sit down on some shots, and hit Josh Taylor with something that he don't see coming, he can knock Josh Taylor power out with a few punches. But the speed advantage, the athletic ability advantage, everything, all the advantages as far as physical advantages except for power, you know, even the height, I'm not sure about the arm length, favors Ryan Martin. But everything else, as far as experience, you know, intangibles, being battle tested, punching power, the ability to fight at all three ranges for Josh Taylor. I think if this fight gets on the inside, it's going to be an interesting fight. Fought at pocket or inside. Even on the outside, all three ranges, this fight will be interesting. Just knowing Martin's physical prowess, being tall, hand speed being fast, feet being good, Taylor feet being good, switch hitters, hands being fast itself, him being able to punch. This has all the makings to be an epic fight. Like I said, this is my favorite fight in November over Bellew Usyk, over you know, Cesados and Maurice Hooker, and over the Big Baby Miller Kansas card with Clarissa Shields, Luis Arias taking on Gabriel Rosado, Rios taking on Ramon Alvarez. To my knowledge, this is the best fight that they can offer in November. Maybe end up being a Fight of the Year candidate. And if Josh Taylor is taking this kid lightly, it's going to be a big mistake. I'm telling you, this should be an epic fight. This should be one of the best fights you want to see. And it gives you a reason to go stream, or if you want to pay for the zone or start your free trial. Ryan Martin is a really good American fighter that hasn't really got the notoriety that he deserves, you know, due to his promotional issues. But I'm telling you, fast hands. He's trained at the Mayweather boxing gym before. Orthodox fighter, good jab, good hand speed. You know, I would like to see him with a different coach, but in this situation, you know, with all his hand speed and all the ability he got, his foot speed, his athletic ability, and he just looks the part. He looks like a superstar in the making. But I think the lack of power is what eventually is probably going to hurt him. And the inactivity is, well, I don't say inactivity, but fighting at the high level that he needs to. But going into a foreign place, going to a dude's backyard, Abel Sanchez is probably the coach you want to have. And and a lot of people are going to say, knock me for this, but me saying that, but hear me out. You want to go get the knockout. You want to be aggressive. You want to be offensive, because going over there, you're not going to get a decision by outboxing Josh Taylor. You know, people thought Posto was up on Josh Taylor, and he was way behind on the cards. He didn't have an opportunity to win. And Josh Taylor admitted he thought the fight was closer than the scorecards indicated, I believe. But ultimately, I'm going to go with, like I said, I want to go for the upset for Ryan Martin. I really do. But ultimately, I'm going to stick to my guns, go with Josh Taylor. He's one of my favorite fighters, favorite up-and-coming fighters out there, favorite fighters in general. I think he's going to beat Ryan Martin unanimous decision. I think that experience going 12, going in hard fights with O'Harry Davies, Miguel Vasquez, Victor Postal, it's all going to favor him. I think he can go to full 12. I think Ryan Martin just don't have the experience going deep in the fights at this elite level competition. I think that's going to hurt him. But would it surprise me if Ryan Martin won? No, it would not. I'm trying to tell you, this has got the makings to be a great fight. We're talking about all these other hypothetical, real-life fantasy fights that should be happening. I'm talking about a great fight that will be happening this coming Saturday, November 3rd. You will witness in Glasgow, Scotland, an epic modern-day classic between two really, really good, little-known fighters amongst a lot of American hardcores. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a great fight. I favor Josh Taylor to win by 3 points. I favor him to win by 3 points. You know, I'm favoring to win by 3 points, but I think it will be competitive. I think Ryan Martin will gain a lot of experience from this fight. I think he'll go on and challenge for a world title again, but I think he just comes up 3 points short of Josh Taylor. But it would not shock me. It would not shock me if Ryan Martin upset him in this tournament and went on to do an Andre Ward and won the tournament. I'm telling you, the winner of this fight, I think, will win this tournament, and that's just my opinion. Which I picked Josh Taylor off rip. So. Go do some film study, some film work with Ryan Martin out there, some sparring at the Mayweather Club, some fights on Ring TV, on YouTube. So check them out. Goodfellas Sports TV, breakdown prediction, Ryan Martin versus Josh Taylor. I know they don't want to hear knowledge, but hey, you know, I just want to, you know, kick real game and put some fighters up and do what I'm supposed to do on here and kick real boxing knowledge every now and again. And this is for my real subs that really fuck with me and work with that real boxing shit. Check them out. Goodfellas Sports TV. You can hit me up on Facebook in the DMs. Hit me up in the email. Whatever questions, business inquiries you got. The link's in the description. Y'all know what to do.